and welcome to our Art Integrated project of English. Our topic was to prepare a radio show on the current scenario of the world fights the pandemic. You may include interviews, tips, impact of the virus, advices, and suggestions to prevent the virus. And now we begin the radio show.
Good evening, everybody. You're listening to Captain Jack's afternoon show on Cloud Radio. It's Saturday, the 1st of July. Today, the best hits are coming your way. Also, we will be discussing about the coronavirus pandemic with 4 special guests. The deadly outbreak has already claimed over 600,000 lives globally and have affected over 18 million worldwide. This virus is defining the global health crisis of our time and is the greatest challenge that we have faced since World War II. We had asked you all to give us a couple of questions to ask our 4 special guests today in our social medias, and we have taken into consideration some of them. And our first guest for today is here. Good evening, Zaid, who directs the Institute of Virology at Charité Hospital in Berlin. And he was one of those who identified the SARS virus in 2003.
Hello everyone.
Hello, Zaid. It's great to have you with us.
My pleasure.
So, Zaid, you have been researching on this virus and its effects on the human body.
Yes.
So, how does this virus actually affect our lungs, and what does it do to it that causes breathing issues in patients with the virus?
Well, that's a nice question. When a person is infected, the virus first settles in the throat for some time. After that, it goes to the trachea, to the lungs, and finally to the alveoli. When the coronavirus enters the alveoli, the immune cells crowd an inflamed alveolus, or air sac, whose walls break down while fighting with the virus, which leads to diminishing oxygen uptake. So this is where the threatening side of the COVID virus comes into the picture.
Okay, so Zaid, suppose the person has been infected with COVID, but it's just been a day or two. So is there any way for this person to perhaps avoid any further damage by this virus and not face the damaging effects of it?
That would be a yes from me. You see, I have mentioned that when a person is infected, the virus first settles in the throat for some time. During this period, if the person regularly drinks hot water, then the virus will fade away, as this virus cannot withstand high temperatures, so the person should be safe.
Oh, Zaid, it's great to know. Now, the coronavirus does not have any treatment till date and is continuing to affect people all around the globe. So what is about this virus that it makes it so difficult to treat?
So the structure of the virus is large, roughly spherical envelope with surface projections. The envelope contains multiple proteins responsible for its strength, which makes it really difficult to kill the virus.
Okay, so talk about killing the virus. When can we expect a proper treatment or vaccine for the coronavirus?
As of now, the vaccines are in early stages and is given for testing. Many vaccines are being found, but they have to be tested well so that the vaccine does not harm the receiver of the vaccine in any way. We can expect a vaccine by mid-2021 and then it will be distributed through the world.
Since we have quite a large number of people watching this, would it be possible for you to give us some tips to perhaps prevent ourselves from getting infected?
Sure. First of all, regularly wash your hands with soap and maintain a distance between 1 meter and 3 meters in a crowded area. This is because when an infected person coughs or sneezes, it includes small droplets containing the virus. So if a healthy person stays next to an infected, he or she will get infected due to the near distance. Avoid touching the face, nose or mouth with your hands, since it is the pathway for the virus to enter your body. Finally, last but not the least, wearing a face mask. The face mask contains layers which acts like a barrier to protect us from the spread through droplets.
It is great having you here, Zaid.
Well, thank you for having me here.
Coronavirus has undoubtedly affected the business sector and many people have lost their businesses due to this pandemic. We have with us one determined person whose company had gone bankrupt due to COVID, but he never gave up. Now he has built a huge enterprise that helps the society who have been directly or indirectly affected by this pandemic. By now you should all be knowing who I'm talking about. We welcome Kaushal.
Good evening and thanks for having me here today.
So Kaushal, initially, how did COVID affect your business?
Affected is an understatement. I would say it transformed my whole business and my life for that matter. I used to be the head of an airline. It was a small airline, so I wouldn't be surprised if you haven't heard about it. My business was going fairly well until the pandemic was afflicted on us. My company went bankrupt and I was in quite a dilemma for a long period. But I didn't lose hope just yet.
So Kaushal, in the beginning you were the head of an airline and now you have a huge and well-known business that in fact supports those affected by this pandemic. So, what made you start this new venture?
So at the time, I was facing a problem, and the fact that there are people out there who have an emergency and need to go to India quickly really made me worried. So I started wondering of a way to help myself and those in need. I sat for hours and hours. Then I got a brilliant idea. I thought to myself, why don't I help these people who are in dire need of help, but also at the same time help myself solve my dilemma? So then I decided to help the labor class people go to India, but at the same time import goods from here, such as dates, spices, and more, and sell it in India. But I knew it would help me in a significant way, but I had faith in myself. So I started giving out posters and advertisements in the suburbs of Dubai, but I also had to invest in the goods I was going to transport in large amounts. It's not like it would magically appear in front of me, but fortunately for me, my brother was the CEO of a spice manufacturing industry. So I asked him for help and he readily agreed as there was also a good motive behind my plan. So that was the flashback from a new venture. The spices sold like it was a Black Friday sale, and now I am happy and the families who reunited are happy.
Your determination to succeed is undoubtedly an inspiration for all out there. There are still many people whose businesses have been shut due to the pandemic. So, what tips would you give them so that they can perhaps find a way to start a new venture for themselves?
Okay. First of all, you gotta have faith in yourself. That is the most important thing. Even if everything around you seems like it is falling, even if everyone around you are telling what you want to do is impossible, ignore them and listen to what your mind is saying. Or you're just going to take heed of their words and fail. So what I'm implying is don't give up. Also think about all the pros and cons of what you plan to do. Whatever you're doing, plan everything out first, because there is a chance that a small misdemeanor might make everything flop. So yeah, those are the basic tips I would like to give. And remember, believe in yourself first.
So, Kaushal, thank you very much for joining us today. This is surely an inspiration for all to never give up on their dreams and keep working hard.
Thank you for having me. Bye.
We will be back shortly with the interviews. Now, coming up, we've got two fantastic new tracks and the latest weather updates.
Good afternoon. The time is 12:45 p.m. I'm John Kim with your local cloud radio weather forecast for Dubai, UAE and the surrounding area. The local temperature is 37 degrees. Sunny skies is expected through the afternoon. Now we go back to Captain Jack for the interviews.
And we're back with the interviews on Captain Jack's afternoon show. Now we have with us the architect of the thermal cameras, Mohammed Mashroob.
Hello,
Mushroom, thank you very much for joining us.
thanks for having me.
So, thermal cameras are being increasingly promoted to be placed in areas that are usually crowded. So, how does the thermal camera work and where are these cameras being placed?
Basically, the thermal cameras detect radiating heat from a body, usually from the forehead, and then estimate core body temperature. These cameras are an extremely powerful tool. Thermal cameras do not measure the coronavirus, they only measure the body temperature. A high temperature or fever is just one common symptom of the virus. Now we are working on a new innovation. We are working on drones equipped with thermal cameras. They are really useful as these are really time saving. Now, if you are talking about the location of these cameras should be installed in the places where a huge number of people gather, like in malls, supermarkets, etc. So, these cameras are installed in the main entrance and the exit points of these places. The view of the camera will be installed in the CCTV room in the particular mall or outlet.
That is great to know. Now, what will happen if the camera spots some unusual signs?
That's a great question. If the camera detects any unusual spot, an alarm will be heard to the person who is monitoring it. Those with a high temperature reading would be turned away or sent to nearby medical teams for further testing for the virus.
Mushroom, it was great speaking to you.
Thank you.
We will be back shortly with the interviews. For now, we have coming up the accident report for the day.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
I, Charles Martin, is here with a traffic and accident report across Dubai, UAE. Traffic is running high in the Knife Road located in Deira. The traffic has been caused due to a crucial accident, and the road is currently being blocked by the traffic police, and the traffic is getting high. So, I suggest to use an alternative route, which is the Al Khalij Road. I hope the report was useful. Now we are going back with Captain Jack's afternoon show. Thank you.
And we're back with the interviews on Captain Jack's afternoon show. Lastly, we have with us a person who has been recently growing famous on his YouTube channel named Daily Workout by Marwan. Marwan live streams 2 30-minute workout videos every day, which helps millions of people in quarantine stay fit, staying at home. So introducing the YouTuber with over 12 million subscribers, Marwan.
Hello everyone.
So Marwan, what inspired you to start this channel?
I've seen people being really inactive during quarantine, and I just wanted to introduce a new concept of daily live stream where I would be conducting fitness sessions that would approximately last for 30 minutes. And I stream twice in a day, one early in the morning and one later in the evening. The steps that I choose daily for the stream is specific in the sense that all body parts would be benefiting from this 30-minute stream that I conduct.
That's great. Now Marwan, did you actually expect your idea to work this well? I mean, your channel has over 12 million subscribers and over 7 million people watch your videos live every day, apart from those who watch the replays.
Well, initially, I did not expect it to go this famous, reaching people all around the globe. But at the same time, I did not start this channel for profit and I do not insert ads in the video. This was created by me just for the benefit of society and I'm proud of what I've accomplished.
Okay, so Marwan, is it possible for you to give some tips for our audience to stay physically and mentally healthy during quarantine?
Sure, I can give some tips. Make sure you're practicing good sleep hygiene, keeping your sleep environment cool, dark, and quiet. Vitamin D is important in the immune response. Ensure plenty of fruits and vegetables. And limit the intake of salt, sugar, and fat. Prefer whole grain rather than refined foods. Getting sun will increase your vitamin D reserves. Opening shades and windows sitting in sunny areas of our apartment. And even getting outside when social distancing is possible. Even if it's raining or too crowded outside to practice social distancing, exercise in your apartment. Try watching my daily live streams and make sure to repeat the exercises with me. And I'm sure you will be as fit or maybe more fit than you were before.
Thank you so much for joining us, Marwan. It was great having you here. And that's it, folks, in this edition of Captain Jack's Afternoon Show. Now let's get some latest hits playing.
And that is our topic for the project, all covered. And on this final note, we conclude our presentation.